Hello, Playdate. This is Don.
This is Nick. Boop, and I'm Ryan.
This week we are covering Playdate news.
Recent indie releases.
And doing some lollygagging on the flippity flop. Boop, boop, boop. Thanks for listening. Let's get started, Ryan and Nick.
As you can probably hear, Ryan is absent this episode, but we'll do our best to soldier on in this boopless wasteland.
This boopless utopia.
All right, Don.
Yeah, anyway.
Can you tell me, is there any news to go
Not
over?
as much. Well, this is where Ryan has been shining the past year or so. He's been really propping up the news and notes section. So the news and notes is a little thin this week, but we do have some things. There was a Playdate Direct right after we recorded last time, I think. And there's a lot of stuff in there. So I'm going to post a link in the show notes. There were 20 plus trailers. And there's a nice list in the YouTube description with timestamps to everything. Nick, did you get a chance to watch it?
I did, actually. And you know, Don, how rare that is. But
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's incredible. So great work, everybody. And I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff here.
How about you? A lot of stuff. Yeah, it was really well done. Production value through the roof. Cool music. There were musical interludes from Narthex and tons of stuff. Yeah, announcements and whatnot. So I won't go through the whole list, but there is a lot to look forward to and get excited about. So take the time to go through it. It's an hour long, but if that's too long, just cut it into pieces. Say, oh, there's a new direct every day of the week next week.
There we go.
10-minute direct. So highly recommend giving a look. And since the direct was 2 weeks ago, some of these games are out and you'll hear about them in a few minutes. So some of them you can play right now. It's like a shadow drop, like we love to get from the Nintendo Directs and whatnot. So love that.
Very cool. Yep.
Yes. Also, I wanted to mention that 4-track from Gingerbeard Man, aka Matt Sefton, now has an offline version with a demo that is half price. It's on itch. There'll be a link in the show notes. We talked about this a few months ago as a pick of the week.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you play 18 holes of golf on your Playdate screen, and all the holes are in the same screen, and you drive around a little tank shooting the ball at them. It's a game that I was very addicted to, and it's kind of one of those go-to games that I just never get tired of.
Evergreen.
Thank you, Nick. That's a great word. But if you want to try it and you haven't bit yet, there's a demo. And then if you love it, you can always buy it on catalog. Or if you want to have price, you can get it on itch. So I recommend dipping in there. But also more news from Matt Sefton. He has a new game he's submitting to catalog this week. He thinks he did a good job, so it's looking promising. Right. There's a new update coming to Yo-Yozo, hopefully soon. I did not get details on it, but that is exciting. That was another
very exciting, yeah,
game of the week, yeah, and a big buzz getter in the Playdate realm last year, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Then Shark Turtle is finally coming out. Then Kotari. And all the while, in between all of those games, he says he's working on his magnum opus, and you can quote me on that.
Wow.
All to be done by the end of the year.
Oh, my gosh.
Though he says, of course, release dates are out of my hands to a certain degree. But that's a lot of stuff.
That's incredible. That's a lot of work.
Indeed.
So
I always appreciate the level of... not only the level of polish, but just the accessibility that Matt Sefton games have. So looking forward to a lot of stuff coming very soon. If you're not familiar with his games, hop on. There's demos for other games that he's done. I know there's a Sparrow Solitaire demo. But anyway, hop on his catalog and check that stuff out now.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of checking out stuff, there is new stuff in the Playdate universe, not just play dates and games.
Yeah.
And covers. You can also hop on Panic, play.date/shop, link in the show notes as always. There's a patch pack for $10. You get a couple of, looks like 3 patches to sew onto your favorite cloth items, and a sticker pack with 12 die cuts decal stickers. Are these Zanya designs?
That's what I was curious about. I was wondering if you happen to know.
Or Pizza Fuel Div? I've seen some of these designs before, the little cute Playdate faces. I'm not sure who drew these, but now I feel bad for not asking before we started recording. Anyway, they're very cute. $6 for a sticker pack also with 12 decals is a heck of a deal. So hop on and check those out. And it sounded like, I don't remember where I saw it. I think somewhere on the squad Discord, more things may be coming to the shop.
Ominous.
More items.
More exciting.
Possibly exciting things.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's cool that we got something cheap too. It's not the $200 that the Playdate is. So very cool. Stocking stuffers. Get them now.
Definitely.
And then Uncranked. All of the Uncranks are available for pre-order or order if you like the digital version. Right now, Uncranked number 4 is out, featuring us.
You and me, Don?
You and me. There's an interview with us in there.
And
There
Ryan,
is,
too. All 3 of us.
All 3 of us. It's like, what was it, like 78 pages or something?
It's huge.
It is massive. And there's also a Playdate Community Direct zine for the summer edition that we just talked about earlier in the show, with all of the trailers and I don't know, like more information on everything that was shown. So there's release dates if they're available, there's screenshots, but there's also like a little zine supporting that with Q&As and QR codes, so you can go check out the sites. I think it was either $2 or $3, I want to say, but that is also available. So I've got it open in my thing, but don't have the link open. But I've got the actual document open, and I've been taking peeks at that all week long. So of course, all of the Uncranked magazines are high quality, very interesting, very colorful, and a lot of fun to read.
Definitely.
Yes. And there's also a Fun in the Sun like game, sort of. What's it called? An app that supports it. You can download on the Playdate, and they put a lot of work into that. So there'll be a link for that as well. So many links. So you can check out all the games as part of the app. Lots of coverage.
Definitely. From all angles.
Every sense will be simulated.
That's really, really amazing. But yeah. Indeed. Well done. Is that all the news that's fit to print?
I mean, there's probably more, but we don't have. This is where Ryan shines. Like I said, we don't have him, so we should have hired someone.
Move along without him then. Shall we head over to Indie Inventory?
Boop. Yeah, let's head over there. Right. We could, I could ask the AI model, what Playdate news do you have? Also, create us art for this episode. Let me just get on that. Ryan's not here to do anything about it. Okay, Indie Inventory. This is where we talk about indie releases and games coming to and recently came to your Playdate device. So you can check these out. Most of them are going to be on itch, and we'll talk about some prices. We'll provide links to all of them in the show notes. And then at the end, we'll talk about recent catalog releases. And we missed last week, so we've got twice as many catalog releases to get to. So, Nick, help me remember.
I'm buckled in. I'm ready.
Thank you. You have all 10 tabs open.
Yes.
One of the games that looked really fun from the Community Direct was a game called Dolphin Splash.
Absolutely.
Yes. It is $4. It's got all the vibes of Echo the Dolphin. A little bit of Hungry Shark without the hungriness or sharks. But yeah, you're swimming around, you're going through rings, you're jumping in and out of water. It looks really fun. The one and only reason I haven't bought this is because they said it's coming to catalog soon, and I'm spoiled by catalog stuff. I want those automatic updates.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for the same reason. But this is very exciting to me, and one of my children loves dolphins, so this will be a great app to get them through the rest of the summer here. Very exciting.
I'd like to hear their impressions.
Yeah, definitely.
If you can,
Echo
get like a
was
little
very
review and let us
frustrating
know.
for them. So if this is not as frustrating as Echo, that
Yeah.
will be met with praise.
Echo it was tricky.
Mhm.
Love the concept, but it was a little challenging. Did they try Echo Junior though?
They did not. So, and this was many years ago. So their skills have also improved and coordination as well.
They need a double dip or revisit.
Yeah. But now there's no reason to, because they have this amazing Playdate game, Dolphin Splash. And this was developed by Spellbar. Correct?
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's currently $4 on itch.
And has an online level editor.
Really?
Nice. That's pretty cool. And achievements. Oh.
This is very exciting.
I'm all over this.
This looks so cool. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
I'm all over this for one purchase, not two, though. I think I made that clear.
You've said such a thing.
Thank you. All right. Moving on. Crank Venture Capitalist from Irish Jiminy. This one I did play. This is another one that was in the Fun in the Sun. Oh, I don't know if we even mentioned the Fun in the Sun bundle. With all of this sun and fun talk, I neglected the Fun in the Sun bundle going on right now. For $19.50, you get 10 games, and several of them we'll be talking about today because they're brand new releases, including Crank Venture Capitalist. So this is a what are these called? An idle game, I guess, or a clicker. It's a clicker, but it's a cranker. So you're cranking to earn currency, but then you can buy upgrades and whatnot. And it has a vibe of like a cult. You're trying to get out of a cult.
Okay.
It's cool. Yeah, I started playing it, and it's pretty fun. And there's tons of funny dialogue and whatnot. So it's very cute. It's $2. I would recommend that you buy the bundle, but if you don't, or if you're listening to this later, again, it's $2 and well worth a look if you like that type of game.
Very cool. All right.
Next up from Sada Kitchen is Dig Dig. This is a cute little digger. This kind of goes with the Crank Venture Capitalist thing. You're cranking to dig, so it's a cookie clicker cranker, and then you can buy upgrades to, I guess, dig deeper. This one I have not tried. It's $1. I was afraid of giving myself too many crankers at once, back to back, but I do want to try this at some point. Yeah.
I love the graphics on this one. Very cute.
Super cute. What is he, a mole or something, or just a blob? I don't know what he is.
It's up to your imagination, Don, but no matter the answer, it's correct. It is great looking, though. So
very cute.
Oh, apparently an alien, perhaps, or perhaps a human. Hard to say.
The opportunities, the endless opportunities. Yes, I don't know the word. Any
to determine
character I want. Yes.
What the main character is.
Yes.
Okay. So that is Dig Dig, developed by Sada Kitchen, and it's $1 on itch.
Yes. And then Sakura Sleuth, a great title from Zanya Lasagna. Or I should say, I love that title. This says beta, but I guess I didn't notice that when I started playing it. It feels done, but it says work in progress, which we usually don't mention, but it's crazy how Zanya went from Reach the Ocean to this in a relatively short time. This is a graphic novel-ish detective game where you're interrogating people, you're looking for clues and trying to solve. I think there's 3 cases in the game right now. And so, yeah, there are 3 cases right now. So maybe Zanya's going to add more cases. Maybe that's the beta part of it. But the art is great, and a lot of humor as always. Zanya puts a lot of humor in their games. So well worth a look.
Very exciting. This is my type of game, Zanya. So thank you for developing this just for me. And This is $3 at the moment.
What was the
And,
season 1 game that was kind of similar? Gameplay style, not similar story. They were like in the attic, teenagers.
Demon Quest 85? Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about?
that's the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you'll recall, Don, that was my number 1 of the season.
Was it?
I think so. Might be
I
wrong.
think you're right. Yeah.
It's been a while, but yeah. So Soccer Sleuth, $3 by Zanya Lasagna on itch.
Thank you. Next up is Words by Sorenchu for $2. This one,
Is it B words?
either or both.
Okay.
This one also in the Fun in the Sun bundle, also a brand new release. This one I did play a bit of. It's a word puzzle game where there's different birds with letters on them, and you have like a big what are these? Grabber? What are those things? You grab logs out of your fireplace? Log grabber thing?
Yeah, a thing. Extendo arm.
Extendo arm. Yes. A magic hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you grab the birds and you try to make words out of them. But you can't just make any word because you have different clients. Somebody will come up and be like, oh, I love nature. So then you're trying to make a word about nature or gardening or whatever. And I got stuck pretty early on where all the letters I had could not make a word about gardening or whatever it was. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. But the art is very cute. And if you have any tips on how to be less dumb at grabbing the right letters or how to get out of that, let me know, because I feel like I was just stuck.
Well, it does look pretty hard to grab a live animal like that and then force it to spell a word. But I'm just kidding, of course. This looks awesome, and it is developed by Sorencho, and it is $2 on itch.
Very cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is a free game, and it's a work in progress. Breaks all the rules, but there's nothing really like this on Playdate, and I think this has some appeal. It's called Super Kickball 1982. The developer is Warcos, and yeah, it's as close as I've seen to like FIFA on the Playdate. You got the little characters running back and forth, kicking the soccer ball around. So yeah, I'm putting this out there because there's probably people that are interested in this kind of thing. And the dev is looking for feedback. Right now, it's free to download. Try it out. There's a YouTube video on the itch page. You got nothing to lose. But right now, there's no feedback, no comments on the channel. It's been up for a couple weeks. So give it a look. This is not my kind of game, but it looks cool.
Yeah, interesting. So it looks like there are some twists on the traditional football or soccer game. Right? There's like power-ups and things.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
at
cool.
the moment, bouncy circles and triangles are extra lives and energy.
I thought they were in, like indicators of the goal and whatnot. That's cool.
At first glance, I thought they might be opponents, and then the shadow players might be on your team or something. But nope. So yeah, this looks really interesting, Don. Thanks for bringing this up.
I might have to give this one a go then. I like the Mario Sluggers. That's close.
Very
similar.
Jam. Different sport, different type of game. But other than that, yes, identical. So this game is called Super Kickball 1982, and it's by Warcos, and it's on itch, and it's free at the moment.
Thank you, Nick. Nick, wake up. I got a game for you.
Oh, yeah?
Magic Castle. Not the pinball machine, Nick. Calm down. This one is by Michael Akweb, maybe, or Michaela K. Webb. I'm not sure. But this is a RPG, like a short RPG, Zelda, Link to the Past style. Very nice artwork. Takes, I think they said it takes 30 minutes, between 30 minutes and an hour and a half to beat, depending on your familiarity with the genre. No random encounters, love that. Auto saves, love that. Accessibility options, love that. And I'm kind of, this isn't really my thing right now. but this feels like a Nick thing. Definitely feels like a Ryan thing. It's $3.99, and so I was like, well, what is this all about? So I checked out a YouTube page called. I didn't open the tab. Called Playdate Player, and he goes through just 4 minutes of quick thoughts on Magic Castle, and he's got like a really chill vibe, kind of like gaming in the wild. Like a calm voice, and I really appreciate it. So I'm going to put a link to his channel in the show notes as well, because it goes over a lot of Playdate games, but I really appreciated his take on this one.
Cool. Well, thanks for waking me up for this one, Don. This looks fantastic. I know I've said that about every game so far, but it's true. We are spoiled for choice here on the Playdate these days. So this game again, Magic Castle, Mikolik A. Webb. I apologize for mispronouncing that badly. And it is $3.99 on itch at the moment.
Yes. Some person made that game. Next up is Platformer by Solokodo. Not the greatest title on earth. I understand that. But the gameplay looks slick as hell. It kind of reminds me.
An FPS or?
Yes. It's a rhythm first-person shooter with football elements. Believe it or not, this is a platformer. It has a little bit of like an N+ vibe because of how small the character is, or almost like a cannonball, but you can run both directions.
Okay.
I think the black and white vibe of the Playdate leads me to think of cannonball more than I probably should.
Okay.
But anyway, it's 25 levels. You just run around collecting coins, but it just looks cute. I don't know. I guess they were going for more of a Super Mario RPG or a Super Mario Maker vibe. Not quite Super Meat Boy. But
Don, did you notice there's no timer?
I like that. It says beat the clock though.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh, for achievements though.
Oh,
the line right above that says play at your own pace.
No level loss. Yeah. BS meter is off the charts with this one.
I don't know about that, but I do see a clock. It's up at the very top in the screenshots down below.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it does help to scroll down a little bit and read this whole page. Sorry.
Anyway, looks cute. It's got some options and whatnot for bigger text. Love that, and inverting colors and whatnot. So $4.50 right now. Got some good reviews too. Look at all these reviews. Nice.
It looks really fun. I've been curious how legible you can make a platformer on the Playdate, and there have been multiple attempts to this point, and some more successful than others. But this, from the GIFs, looks really quite legible for the size of the characters. Very impressive.
I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's the newest Ledbetter project. It's like one to one.
1 minus 1.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea with that, it's a similar type of platformer, but it's like super minimalistic, where all you have is the guy basically. So it reads really well on the Playdate.
Oh yeah,
I love that idea. So,
definitely.
Not that this doesn't. This looks very legible too.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's platformer.
Okay, so platformer was designed by Solokodo, and it is $4.50 on itch.
Nicholas is the dev of the next game, Munch Mode for Playdate. It is currently free, and it's got like a little Dr. Mario vibe. That's probably where I'll leave it, because I just get a lot of Dr. Mario vibe off of this one. There's a lot of different types of blocks you can drop and bricks and whatnot. It's free. I want somebody to let me know what they think of this. I'm drowning in games.
Reminds me of Centipede from some of the GIFs.
Those mushrooms are very centipede-y.
Well, and the centipede that comes down and eats them.
Oh, is there a centipede?
Yeah. Keep an eye on that first or second GIF.
Oh, I thought they were just bugs walking around.
Yeah,
keep connected.
Keep watching that second one. You'll see it.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, this looks really interesting. So that was Munch Mode, and it's by Nick Olas. Not
Do
this
you know him?
Nicholas. I not
Did you meet him
not
at the convention?
not every Nicholas knows each other,
Oh,
unfortunately. Despite what you might have heard. And it is free on itch.
such a deal.
Mhm.
Next up from Power Dive is Solitaire, which is a solitaire game, but this one is never ending. It's endless. It's got different difficulties and whatnot, but there is like just a focus on just keep playing and don't run out of room. So it'll just keep handing you cards,
Huh.
Which is I always love a twist on solitaire. It feels like you can only do so much with a deck of cards, but no, mankind's creativity knows no bounds.
When it comes to solitaire, this is true. This looks very legible as well. I'm very impressed with the little gifts here.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very cool. And this is by Power Dive Games. It's called Solitaire, and it's $4 on itch.
Very nice. Next up from Pan Gameworks is Cray Cray for $2.50. I assume that's how it's pronounced. This is what is this? Another Tamagotchi kind of game, but with a more scientific twist. You're cranking to generate watt hours and watching your power reserves go, but it's got like cute guinea pigs or something.
Don, are you saying this is a way to power the Playdate by forcing guinea pigs or hamsters to run on a track
Animal
or something?
cruelty, yes.
Yeah. Generate the watt hours.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's a lot of text in this game. I'm surprised. It looks like there are a lot of achievements and things that you can earn as well.
There's a lot of depth here. I kind of want to check this out because I like all these screens popping up, and I like this list of features. New game plus, achievements, music options, events, temporary events, and whatnot, random events.
Don, these are hamsters. Update.
Hamsters, sorry. We're doing not a great job of describing what this is, but there's not a whole lot of information on what it actually is on the itch page, to be fair.
That's true. And it's called Cray Cray, and it is by Pan Gameworks and is $2.50 on itch.
Yes. This episode is just us reading a list. I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. Next up, and this is the final itch game on the list, is Flip Date by Dog Games.
Okay.
Easy to read.
D-Dog.
Damn it, I messed it up. D-Dog Games. Flip Date is an animation application inspired by Flipnote Studio, only available on the Playdate. Yeah, so you can go in here, you can draw, you can edit, you can add audio to animations using the mic.
Okay.
And it's got a project manager in there. The layout looks pretty simple and easy to use. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of information here, no reviews or anything, but it just came out, so make a little flip book. Yeah,
this looks great. I wonder how large the flip book can be. One of the screenshots shows at least 70 pages, which is a lot of pages. So very cool. Very nice. This is Flip Date by D-Dog Games, and it's $5 on itch.
Very nice. Thank you, Nick. Let's pop over to catalog real quick.
Should we look at what's on sale first?
I mean, we can. These are unlikely to be on sale a week from now or 2 weeks from now. But right now,
point people to the sale page. It's in our show
notes. There'll be a link to the sale page in the show notes. Right now, there's stuff like Hana Space Time Fantasy, 50% off. Gun Trails, 50% off. No Caddy Included, we talked about recently, 33% off. And Tartine's Show looks really weird. It's 33% off. You're like a flying piece of toast, and you have to land. I played it once and could not figure out what was going on. I need to watch the Destination Playdate video.
I have played quite a bit of it.
You have?
Yeah. Can
you tell me what's supposed to happen?
You're supposed to do cool tricks and then land right side up back in the toaster.
You just use the crank and then have to like crank back to landing, or?
It's been a little while, but I seem to recall that there were buttons involved and maybe the accelerometer. It's been a little while. Get your whole body involved in flipping that piece of toast on.
All right.
Yeah. Other games on sale: Slitherlink PD, Steamed Roller, and then a couple that we're going to talk about that were recently released on catalog.
And also Orbo.
And Orbo, is that? I thought that was new too. It was not
for a while. No.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Don, speaking
do you want to
of
read these, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay,
there's a bunch of different catalog games. You all fell down on the job last week, and so we have to pick up the slack this week. Is that okay?
You did a fantastic job, Nick. 11 out of 10.
Thanks much, Don. All right. So there are new catalog releases. Let's start with Hexa. Hexa is what appears to be a rotating puzzler with triangular pieces. Is that correct?
That's fair.
And you rotate them in hexagonal shapes. So you're rotating all these pieces of Trivial Pursuit using a little hexagon.
Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, you know the little.
It does look like a little bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a spiritual successor to Puzzle Quest Galactrix.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I think we've done a good job of illustrating what this is for our listeners, as they're all familiar with those properties.
They're all boomers who played an obscure DS game.
Mm-hmm. This was made by Ray. It's normally $7 and it's currently on sale for $6.
Very cool.
Next up, we have Electrolyte. This was made by Weak Tea, and it is a game about a tiny piece of light on a tiny adventure, and you are trying to explore the world outside the computer where you wake up every day. I seem to recall that Ryan and I talked about this on an episode recently. It might have been the Itch release, but now it's on catalog, and it is $2. It's Electrolyte made by Weak Tea. Does this look interesting to you, Don?
Yeah, I love the little short adventures on the Playdate.
Same. I'm also a big fan of little thing in a bigger system, like inside a computer. Or we've talked about that before, like small people, big world kind of deal. All right. Next up, we have Throne Wars. Throne Wars is a turn-based strategy game, and it says that it challenges you to command your forces across 30 meticulously designed levels, recruit your army, master the battlefield, and outmaneuver your opponents in both single-player and multiplayer modes. Strategy and tactics games are not normally my jam, but this looks very legible.
This is the closest I've seen to Unicorn Overlord on any system. This is very similar to Unicorn Overlord in the look.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like that bottom one with the giant sprites, that's straight up Unicorn Overlord. The one above it is like a very Unicorn Overlord. Both parts of the GIF above it. That's awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah.
This one's first to market with the Unicorn Overlord homage.
Well, very, very good. So that is Throne Wars by Istvan Zolontai. I apologize if I mispronounced that.
Yeah.
I am not great at pronouncing names. I'm sorry. It is $7 on catalog right now. And next up, Don, you've heard of Elder Scrolls. Now it's time for Mystery Scrolls.
Love that. Yes. Good one, Nick.
Thank you. Are you ready to become a medieval cryptex scroll master, Don?
I am now.
Okay, good. Find medieval words by solving puzzles on mysterious scrolls. Find your way out without getting lost in unique mazes. Use the clues you find to solve the cryptex. Your task is to decipher these enigmatic cryptex scrolls and uncover the medieval words locked within. Immerse yourself in the rich tapestry of medieval history as you become a master of the cryptex scrolls. Each solved puzzle brings you closer to mastering the art of ancient deciphering, revealing a world of mystery. With 100 pairs of scrolls to conquer, pairs of scrolls? Are you up to
you got
the
the one
challenge?
at the top, one at the bottom, and you pull them apart, right?
You have a supply reel and a take-up reel, right? The journey to becoming a medieval cryptex scroll master awaits. Don, this looks like a maze game with word puzzles involved as well.
Two great tastes that taste great together. Yeah, I gotta try this one. But I'm looking at look at the bottom puzzle. It spells the word. Oh, okay. It spells the word sword, and I'm like, well, how would you know what to spell? But then it said a weapon used by knights or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think this might be the problem that we had on the other page where the GIF cut off a portion of the screen. Yeah. So we are making assumptions. Okay, but this looks great, and it blends a lot of cool things together for me. So this looks like a must-buy for Nick. This is Mystery Scrolls, and it is by Tubu, and it is $6 on catalog.
I just clicked that purchase button.
Nice. Don.
Yes.
Are you a fan of the arcade?
Of course.
What if I told you that we could minimize it?
A tiny arcade. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Let's make it minimal. Let's minimalize it. So this is Minimal Arcade. It's a collection of 3 very small and relatively unique games for the Playdate. A deconstructed rhythm game, a procedural planning puzzle, and a gamified integration of bars. This is something that Ryan and I talked about a few episodes back on Itch, and it's on catalog now. I'm a huge rhythm game fan, and I like this this concept of minimal arcade games. So this is pretty cool. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a similar series, I think, on the Wii. The download, they made a bunch of different minimalist games, and it's obviously it's reminding me of that. But this looks kind of cool. I'm trying to figure out how this bars thing works.
Looks like you're trying to line them up.
Well, I get that. I get that, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll have to find out.
It? Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is cool.
Well, it's made by J Meebo, and it's $2. It's Minimal Arcade on catalog.
Amazing.
Don, I know you're big into safety, and so I wanted to talk with you about this totally safe jump enhancement system.
I thought that was a box of Kleenex on the cover. I never really looked intently at it.
Okay. This is a 3D platformer, and you're using a jetpack. I'm sorry, a totally safe jump enhancement system to jump between these different platforms and collect gems. And it has 13 levels, yes, and it's very smooth. The rotation and scaling that's happening here. So very nice work. Robert Norenberg, who's the developer. And this has a bunch of leaderboards, one for each stage, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I see some familiar names on here, Don.
Yeah, I see Orkin, Toad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
I don't see Ryan on these.
Yeah, we've really got to yell at him until he gets Helloplaydate on the boards. So, Don, do you think you'll be utilizing the totally safe jump enhancement system anytime soon?
It looks really fun. I'm just not good at these type of games. Did you ever play Jumping Flash?
Briefly, yeah.
It reminds me of third-person Jumping Flash, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that, but I don't know if I could play it today as a slow old adult. This looks really fun, though. I don't know. If somebody sold me on this, I would probably pop.
Okay.
What do you think? Are you in, Nick?
I ordinarily
Totally
would
safe.
not be, but let me tell you this, Don. Here's my sales pitch. It's totally safe.
Agreed.
You can strap this jump enhancement system on your back, and you have no fear, no worry of falling. It's totally
So what
safe.
happens when you fall? What do you think the cut screen is?
I'm guessing there's going to be just a very loud scream.
I thought it'd be like a cutscene of you playing with a kitten or something
Oh,
on a pile of pillows.
it shows you what happens in that first GIF when you fall off a platform. The screen just fades to black.
And then rises back up with you laying in a pile of pillows, cuddling.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. That part goes unspoken. So that's Totally Safe Jump Enhancement System. It's by Robert Nornberg, and it is $6 currently on catalog.
Nice.
Don, it's time to get spooky. It's Penrose has come to catalog. Did we talk about this game on podcast?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It's somewhat short, but
Mm-hmm.
nice and creepy.
Yeah.
And the music was really good, right?
I seem to recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Penrose by Liza Olson, and it is currently $2 on catalog. It's a horror game. I guess
It's
I could have
definitely
mentioned
creepy.
that.
Yeah, it's a narrative game, but it's definitely creepy. So heads up.
Yep. So keeping the creep streak alive. Is that how I should phrase that? Probably not.
No,
Yeah. Okay. So this next game is called Monster Elevator, and as a federally mandated minimum wage servant for the esteemed Monster Tower Resort and Spa, your goal is to go floor to floor constructing premium hamburger-style sandwiches for every resident. They paid a pretty penny, so these particular patrons prefer prompt perfection. Be careful, one mistake sends you plummeting down to the bottom. You still get to keep your job, though. You're not leaving. This looks pretty cool. So this is like part memory game, part look at this weird guy style of gameplay.
It's Mars After Midnight in an elevator, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
Yeah. And Don, there's an uncomfortable dance for those that reach floor 100.
I see that. Yeah, there's a lot of humor in here. Yeah, I definitely gotta try this one.
This looks great. So that's Monster Elevator by Joelle, and it's $3 on catalog. And more monsters, Don. This time they're mini monsters.
Minimalist monsters?
Yes, minimalist monsters. No, miniature monsters. So here we are, reliving the golden days of the 1990s pet game craze with mini monsters. Built to mimic the games of old, you have to take care of your pet throughout the day as it continues to play in real time, even when you're not. Just adding a little stress to your life there. Mini Monsters is designed to consume very little battery and is intended to be left open and idle, just like a dedicated virtual pet would be. Oh, so it doesn't go to the lock screen, it sounds like.
That's cool.
It just stays on. Yeah, that is cool. Unique. However, this does not mean you always have to leave it open. Feel free to play other games, but don't forget to check back because Mini Monster waits for no one. Don, that sounds really cool. I'm
very threatening.
Well, it is very threatening, but I'm very interested to see how they did that. I wonder if it's kind of like Bloom, where there are timed events that occur. And so after a period of time, you can check back and, your monster is mutated or needs to use the bathroom or whatever the case is. Yeah. Or if it's something a little more advanced than that. It sounds like if you leave it open, there may be different behaviors based on this write-up. Not sure.
There's much more.
There is much more. So, Don, are you prepared to keep these monsters happy?
I mean, they nailed the aesthetic. It is interesting, and I like that there's a clock always there. If we had the dock thing, that this would be a great addition.
Yeah.
I am tempted. I don't know. I don't usually have the patience for this kind of thing, but if you do, this looks like top tier.
I'm very curious, and it looks a lot more accessible and understandable than like a Tamagotchi.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Cool.
quite got those, but this looks really cool. So this is Mini Monsters by Scott Vanderprit and Curtis Alderson, and it's $4 on catalog.
Nice.
Okay, Don, we're coming down the home stretch here. This is the last catalog game.
Yes. Our 500th entry.
Are you ready to be a super beta tester, not just a regular beta tester?
I'm done being mediocre beta tester.
Well,
what do I do?
You then, yeah.
Thank you.
You start work as a beta tester at Mega Industries' platform development division. Your sole purpose in life is to find the optimal way through the company's platformer games.
True.
This valuable information will be used to make their games even harder, because the harder the game is, the more the customers will have to pay to get to the next level.
What?
In this puzzle game, you control the hero via action blocks in platform levels. The game includes tutorial levels and 3 level packs for a total of 30 levels, and an editor for making your own levels.
It's a Zynga game, then. Pay to win. Or wait, you pay to not win.
You're helping to create a pay-to-win scenario, it sounds like.
You get paid to not let people win.
Paid to win. The GIFs make this look like you are presetting actions and then watching the character perform them, like Lemmings a bit.
Yeah, or humans.
Yeah. One of those type of guide this character to a goal type games.
Mm-hmm.
Mario versus Donkey Kong, maybe?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So this also has leaderboards. It looks like there is a separate high score table for each level pack, which is interesting. So if there's 10 levels in each pack, I guess you complete the 10 levels and then you get a ranking. But yeah, so that's Super Beta Tester by Eric Osterberg, and it's $7 on catalog.
Very nice. Does look fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of great games this week.
Definitely. That was a lot of games, Don. Are you ready to take this to the next level, though?
We're going to keep going?
I think so. Are you prepared to survive the night?
I'm barely surviving this episode. This is a lot to talk about.
This is a lot to talk about.
Let's try it, though.
Okay. Survive the Night is our pick of the week, and this is by Irakel, and it is available on itch, and it's Name Your Own Price. This is the first game that Irakel has ever created, and it was made in Lua. Let me set the scene for you, Don. You're out in the woods. You're camping all alone. And as darkness falls, your flashlight dies, but you hear noises in the darkness of the woods. Luckily, your flashlight has a hand crank, and the thing lurking in the dark is allergic to light. So your goal in this game is to crank in order to keep your flashlight lit long enough to keep the creature, the monster, who is constantly trying to approach, at bay. As with every great horror movie with a creature, if you don't crank enough, you will succumb to the creature that is attempting to attack you. So in this game, you are tasked with choosing your mode of gameplay, and there are 3 modes available: easy, medium, and hard. Each of those has to be selected with the A button. And when you do, you have 60 seconds to survive the night. So each one, the creature advances at a different rate. And you have to crank faster and faster, depending on which mode, in order to survive. Once you make it through all 60 seconds, you get a congratulatory screen, and then it brings you back to the main menu. There's also a high score listing, which you can access by pressing the left button. And if you press the right button, this is where I spent most of my time, you're taken to survival mode. And survival mode, the creature is consistently advancing, and it gains speed, strength, ferocity over time. So the longer that you crank, there's no guarantee of success. You can't ever escape in survival mode. The creature will eventually get you. So it's just a matter of keeping it at bay for as long as possible in order to hit that leaderboard. So, Don, what did you think of this game?
This is the game that finally wore out my crank. There is a little friction now. It's never been there. It's not bad, but I can feel it. I guess I have very sensitive fingertips. Yeah, at first I didn't understand it because I was playing on easy, and it seems to be almost impossible to lose on easy. So I was like, what am I doing wrong? Because like the flashlight never turns off on easy if you're cranking. And the spider won't advance, obviously, if the flashlight's on. So I thought I was doing something wrong. When I tried the other ones, though, it's definitely more challenging. Survival mode, like you said, the most challenging. I was cranking and cranking and cranking. I got to about 2 minutes, and that's when my crank started feeling that friction. I was like, I don't want to push it any further. So I let the spider overtake me and murder me. I did not survive the night.
Well, Don, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
It was nice of the spider to allow you to join the podcast.
Join the night?
Yeah.
Oh, join the podcast. Yes.
Yeah. So graphically, let's talk about that. The graphics in the background that are lit up by the flashlight are like outlines of trees, like kind of a rough idea, of what a tree might be, which I think is perfect because the creature is actually very detailed. And the creature looks like it's formed from a bunch of different things, insects mostly. So there's obviously notes of spider in there, but there is like a bee or a scorpion and maybe a bird. I'm not really sure.
Chicken head or something.
Yeah. But I thought it was fantastic. Just very imaginative. The creature itself. Did you like the graphics?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously the spider thing is creepy enough. I liked that the cookie cutters. I mean, yeah, you can tell they're trees, but I think if they were more detailed or more colorful, the contrast between the monster and the background would be too much of a challenge. That might be interesting for the harder difficulties, make the monster that much more difficult to see against the background with a busy background. One thing with the graphics that kind of throws me is your flashlight looks like Atari 2600 4-bit. Like it looks kind of dopey. I feel like they could have gotten away with just a regular flashlight on the same detail level as the spider. Your tent also looks like Oregon Trail on the Apple II. I'm not sure what the choice was. Maybe just like it's good enough and let's get it out. Not a huge deal. I mean, you're playing a video game, but a little weird.
Yeah, there's certainly a few different graphical styles that are mixed up in the game, and the creature is the big standout. So it's also the most important. So,
yeah, the creature and the lighting effects, they get the job done.
Oh yeah,
lighting effects are fun. It is a little weird, also, that the creature advances when the flashlight is on in the difficult stages.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume whenever it's on, it should stop or move backwards.
Well,
And so
it's possible to keep your light lit all the time if you're cranking at a steady pace, like in survival mode. So that might be a challenge. If it wasn't able
even
to
if you
advance.
keep it on, it keeps moving forward. I want to say it's on. Maybe it was on hard.
On hard, yeah.
You just have to crank faster.
So fast.
It's still on.
In the
it's
hard
still
mode.
on when you're cranking slow.
Mm-hmm.
Make it you have to crank harder to keep it on. Not just you have to crank harder for no reason, and it's on when you're cranking slowly.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. And I would agree with that. If that change were made, it would be a little more obvious what was happening and how the creature is able to advance.
It'd be creepier too, because if you're having to go that fast, your flashlight would be flickering a lot more often.
Yeah. And that would make a lot of sense. I have a couple of suggestions for things that I thought in my head, and there's probably reasons why these are not implemented, might improve the experience like that. One would be perhaps being able to move your flashlight, changing the angle with which you are pointing it. If you had more of a narrow focus with the light, it would make it a lot more creepy and make the game a lot more difficult as well, without the need for the creature necessarily to advance at faster rates. Or it could. But that would be kind of interesting to see. Another thing which I thought might be useful would be a little more sound. Like the sound of rustling leaves or crunching twigs and things like that. Might be great to amp up the tension, especially if they only play when the flashlight's flickering or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of sound here.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that might be interesting, I like your idea of moving the flashlight up and down, is that there was like a bat up top, a snake down below or something. And if there was like an audio only kind of cue, so you're pushing up to aim it up, down to push it down, and in the middle for a spider. So you hear a bat noise, you push up, snake you push down, and you're more just like listening and reacting.
Oh, so
like a reaction mode, and see how
like
far you can get.
Bat and the snake might not be able to get you, but they can draw your attention. Is that
Like,
the
more like
suggestion?
a Simon Says thing, where it's getting faster and faster, and you hear a bat, but you push down for a snake, and the bat got you.
Yeah,
this would be an easy concept to do something like that, and it still would fit the horror premise easily.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So this game, I was very impressed that it was the first game that was made. It's a pretty complete thought, I think, for someone's first effort here. Multiple difficulties and different modes of gameplay. I'm always very impressed by that, especially for something that the developer comes right out of the gate with. And this was done for a game jam. It's called Finish Your Project Jam 2024. So this was submitted for that. So congratulations to the dev, Raquel. And this game is free on itch. Well, it's name your own price. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's not. My apologies. It's name your own price. And it is available now. It looks like there has been a bug fix as well.
Something Dino mentioned in the Discord is that it feels a little bit more like a toy than a game. And I think with that expectation going in, you'll have a good time with it. It is sort of one premise, but it does what it needs to do. And it's a fun toy. Yeah, it's cool. Definitely solid first attempt. It's a lot. It's head and shoulders above a lot of first attempts and miles above what my first attempt would look like. So
Yeah. Um,
Worth a
so
shake.
congratulations, and we look forward to Survive the Night 2.
Survive the daytime?
The
So like the
daytime.
morning?
Yes.
So see you at your crappy job.
Survive the evening. On the way to survive the night.
Sitting in traffic. Yeah, cool. So Nick,
Yes.
are you ready to play a different game 2 hours before our next podcast?
Yes. What's it called, Don?
So our next game, I don't think Ryan's going to be here, so it should be his pick, but it's going to be my pick again. And I chose Halfway to Dawn, but not me, the other kind of Dawn, DAWN, by Cyberleaf Studio. This is a hybrid shooter and narrative game. It follows the struggle to survive a night in the dystopian world where only a few humans remain after a mysterious monster invasion. So during the day, it's narrative based and you look around for resources. At night, it turns into a top-down shooter game, or you fight off waves of monsters. So give it a go, and we will be back in a couple weeks to talk about it.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. You can email us at helloplaydatepodcast@gmail.com. Also, we'll have some links in the show notes for things that Ryan and I are doing. Other than that, we will be back here in 2 weeks to discuss Halfway to Dawn. Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Nick. See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.